Okay, we're good. Well, hi guys. This is not going to take a ton of time, but this training, how to take the ick out of selling, is really, really, really important. So I purposely didn't create any slides or a PowerPoint because I want you to look in my eyes when we talk about this. So this is going to be good. So there's only 3 of us on the call, but I would love to just quickly go through, do a quick intro. We'll go just alphabetical order. So Abby, you're up. Tell us where you're dialing in from, what your practice is, and I'd love to hear like what you think about selling.
I'm a perinatal therapist located in Ashburn, Virginia, offering supportive psychotherapy services to women who are struggling with postpartum depression, motherhood, all that. And you said the question was, how do I feel about selling?
Yeah, like what comes up for you? A word or
yeah, it feels like I'm tricking you or something into buying something.
okay.
If you don't like enthusiastically want it, then I don't feel good about it.
Yes. How about you, Chels? Did you do the drop off yet? Do you want to wait or you chime in? Oh, you're off. Your mic's off.
There we go. No, he's a big boy.
Okay.
He's fine sitting over there.
Okay.
I am Chelsea. I'm in Arizona, Gilbert, Arizona. I'm a lactation. I'm a lactation counselor right now, waiting to see if I pass my test for my IBCLC. I provide breastfeeding support and services to prenatal and postpartum moms, as well as like bottle refusal, pumping, weaning, all of those sorts of things. Selling, ick, I guess. I forget what I like. I struggle trying to sell you something. Like I want you to see, but I overgive and undersell. So I'm giving information and giving resources and providing answers and forgetting that I need them to pay for my time.
Okay. That's good. All right. Heather, you're up.
Hi there, I'm Heather Ewer. I'm in Austin, Texas. My company is Oxytocin Perinatal Support. I'm a board certified lactation consultant and also a postpartum and parenting coach. As far as selling, I mean, I think I have a lot of the hangups that Abby and Chelsea mentioned, but I think I'm getting better. I'm definitely working on it. And I've been trying to be like less embarrassed about like my pricing and less, and just more like, hey, do you want to book this appointment or not? And not, oh, I could do this thing for you. And thinking about like how much advice I'm giving between visits. And honestly, that's one of the reasons I'm excited about the packages, is because I think that if I just include that and know like that's paid for, I won't feel as like almost like resentment creeps in when I'm like, I love giving the advice and I love being your go-to, but also like I can't sit here and text you for 45 minutes when I should be like charting or whatever. Like you're not really paying me for this,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good. So you're primed up for it, and that's awesome. Well, these are all good, and it's normal. I mean, you hear the words like ick, sleazy, tricking was a big one that comes up, right? You feel like you're bothering people, you're bugging people. You feel almost like bashful reaching out to people, right? To sell them that your offerings. And today we are going to reframe that. And this is a really, really, really important training that we are going to rewire our brain this way. And here's why. We have to think of selling, which is just telling people about our services, as an act of love. Okay. And this is the way to think of it. If you have an inkling or an idea to do anything, I strongly believe because that's a gift that you have, right? Like, and if you have that gift, you are armed to do that thing. So like you could say, well, if you could do anything, why aren't you an astronaut? Because I've never had that inkling that that's something that I wanted to do, right? But if you have an inkling to do something, that gift sits within you, or it never would have popped in your head of like, God, like what would it take to become a lactation consultant? I wonder how that certification works. Or, maybe I'll go into therapy. Maybe I'll go to graduate school to get my license there. It wouldn't even have entered your mind. So everybody on this call and everybody listening to this replay, has a gift, right? So you go and carry through with the credential to make that happen. And you know, Chelsea says she's waiting for the exam for these letters afterwards, which she will pass, but she's also a registered nurse and worked in the NICU for years and PICUs. And my point is that the gift is there even long before this new chapter, and it is with all of us. So here's the way to reframe your brain. If you have that gift, I truly, truly believe, and if you're a person of faith, it's God. If it's the universe, it's the universe. But you have been tapped on the shoulder to share that gift with other people, right? It's actually your responsibility to give that gift to other people. And think of it like this. If you had a platter of 12 beautiful, delicious, magical chocolate chip cookies, and they are life-changing, I mean transformational, and you had that one cookie that transformed your life, which everybody has had that transformation in either getting your credential or having this idea. Or for me, it was like not only being a lactation consultant, but thinking of like, gosh, I think I could actually like show people to do how I've done this, right? But you could only have that one cookie. Isn't it the right thing to give those 11 other cookies away? And if you're not selling that gift, you're hoarding all of that to yourself. So if you think of it that way, when you're reaching out to a chiropractor or a niche neighbor or telling a mom about an offer, it really changes everything, right? It changes everything. And after you have that pivotal experience and you then set up a business to be able to share this gift, it is your responsibility to show other people what that entails. And I'll just use my own personal experience. So I'm a lactation consultant, help moms and babies with breastfeeding. I learned very, very quickly that I'm really good at it, right? You get momentum, you get clients, you get the reviews, I'm getting business, people are calling me to help them. If I didn't share the word about I offer this service, I can help you, there is potentially Jennifer over there in Fairfax with cracked and bleeding nipples and crying and thinking that she's failed her baby because she doesn't know how to feed their baby. And it could have been a completely different story if she would have known that I existed, right? And that goes also for Chelsea and Heather and Abby here. Like you're literally probably talking people off the ledge at some point, right? Avoiding a mental health crisis. So not selling your services is holding that back from someone else. And it would be really hard for us, the four of us on this call, to do something so grand like address world hunger or solve the problems in the Middle East or global warming. But think about it on the micro level of creating this ripple effect of even impacting one person, right? Does it kind of make you think of it differently than that?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, there's the breastfeeding thing. And then in 2023, I had my first $20,000 a month doing breastfeeding, which not many people in our niche, like that I know of, do that because they have a very different business model. I could have said, don't I have this like magic way of doing things and hoard that business model to myself, right? But what happened with that transformation is that I was able to shift my business that I could be available for my kids. And many, many entrepreneurs were killing ourselves. It's really freaking hard. That's why most people don't have their own company, to fall into that work mode, right? So I learned and figured out how to see a lot less clients at a much higher value and create space to be available for the three most important people in my life, which are my three kids. And isn't it my responsibility, if I figure that out, to show you how to do that? I mean, Abby sees like 800 people a day, right?
Yeah, I mean, yes, it's not good for my mental health, the amount of people I see per week. So
yeah. And if I didn't send that email saying, hey guys, hey, Thrive Breastfeeding alums, I'm doing business coaching now. Maybe you wouldn't have reached out, and maybe you'd be seeing 800 clients when her little boy is starting kindergarten this fall, and she kind of wants to be wrapped up with that, right?
No, yeah. I mean, I think I was watching you from afar and I was like, it feels like she has like this figured out in a way that I don't yet, because I feel too slammed, but not making enough. Yeah.
Yeah. And Heather's in the same boat where her little ones are in the lower elementary. I know the one. Hey, Bethany.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. Sorry.
Do a quick hello. It's okay. We're in the middle of my rant here on how important selling is. Just say hi real quick and your thoughts on selling real quick. How you feel about selling?
It's very uncomfortable to sell.
Yeah. As well, and we completely reframe that. And I would really encourage you to even listen to the recording for the first 15 minutes. That
Sure.
it is your responsibility to talk to your community and your audience about your offering so you can change lives. And you have literally have been tapped on the shoulder to share this gift. So now I have like, what comes up for you now? Is anybody thinking differently about like going on Instagram Live or sending an email or posting on Instagram? Does it feel less ick or less sleazy or less like you're tricking?
I feel like maybe once you do it once, it doesn't feel as scary. Like I think I told you, I'm talking to like this newborn photographer in Virginia that is creating her own blog, and now she wants to feature me. And a year ago, I would have been like, oh my God, no way. Like that's awful. I'm very much like private into myself, and I've grown clients that way. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's as scary as I imagine it to be, because maybe it's just getting my name out there a little bit more, so that like we can kind of weed off some of the clients, like I told you, that are not really moving me to where I want to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And Heather, you've dealt with that, right? The more like, I hate the turn and burn phrase, but kind of, right? Like,
Yeah, and then you also have the clients that are really like not committed to the work you're doing, that you're trying to help them do, and so it's not rewarding for you, you know. And I think that my hang up is like, oh well, if I'm only selling to the people who can afford these packages, like, oh, I'm like showing that lactation really is inaccessible and like all this kind of stuff. And so what I'm trying to tell myself, and I would love to hear what y'all think, is like, if I take care of myself and my family better, then yeah, if I want to like see a Medicaid patient for free or like whatever, give a talk for free, I can do that. I have the bandwidth to do that. So I don't know. That is where my hang up lies a little bit though.
of struggling with that. It's almost making it this bougie thing that a lot of people in your community wouldn't have access to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that is, I think, the hang up in general, right? Like mental health care, lactation services should be accessible to everyone. But do we like have to kill ourselves providing that accessibility? And where's the line? Because like Heather's saying, or at least for me, I know I'm like becoming less and less effective as the week goes on. And by the time I have like a 4 p.m. client on Friday, whose insurance company is only reimbursing me like $60 an hour, I'm like, it's just not really, probably not good for her either. I mean, I think I'm still providing good care, but it builds resentment, and it builds you shouldn't have resentment in that kind of relationship, regardless, like in that caring relationship, you know.
And I'm struggling with the fact that so many people around me are in insurance, and I don't actually know anyone around me that's doing cash pay. And the fact that, you know, I haven't quite found those cash paying clients, it's a little bit discouraging, because I'm like, well, how do I get into that group of people?
Right. And we touched on it in our last call, Chelsea, and I'm going to weave it in here about talking about the messaging to talk to that person, right? And then going back to Abby, what you said about there's a bleeding heart part to all of us, or you wouldn't be in this industry. I mean, all of us have a huge heart, a bleeding heart, right? And the thought is, and the stigma is, people really don't make a lot of money in these fields, right? But that doesn't have to be the case, because if you think of it like this, if you're seeing someone at 4 o'clock on a Friday after you've killed yourself all week, who's really paying the cost for that?
Me, it's me. Like, it's not really them. Like, it's me.
And
my
who, yes, that to most of us is even more important than ourselves, right? We're all the martyrs, like, oh, I'll work, I don't care, I got to help her. But forget us for a second. Who gets the burned out, tired, exhausting mom? The people that were doing all of this for in the first place.
Right. And my kids.
That's who I'm talking about. Your boys.
Yeah. Oh yeah, them. Yeah, no, I'm not my best self. Like, yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah.
Well, and it's oxygen mask, right? It's the whole thing on the airplane. Like, and you have to take care of yourself so then you could be the best for them. So yeah, in a perfect ideal world, you would help everybody who has a problem in your industry, but that's just not the way it works. And if you structure your business accordingly, you can do a Medicaid and write it off client. You can offer some free information that could be weaved in when your bandwidth expands, because you're not killing yourself with that traditional business model.
Yeah.
But the big message here is, when you feel weird about posting or reaching out to a niche neighbor or building your email list, or like, God, what am I supposed to say this week to my email list? Or trying to figure out how to do an Instagram live, that's all marketing. And if selling is an act of love, marketing is the language to get there. And it's our job to fight through that overwhelm, because that's the tedious part of our business. I don't know about you guys, it's not my deliverable. Getting on a call with you and telling you what I know about business is like delightful and kind of a walk in the park, right? Doing a weighted feed with a baby and telling mom, like, yes, you killed it. Look at your supply. That baby transferred 3 ounces. That's the easy part. Our deliverable comes from our heart, and it's the easy, but it's all these other 10 things that we have to do consistently that makes our job really, really hard. And it's why most people don't have their own business. It's why people work for collectives and people work for group therapy practices or work for a corporate job, 9 to 5, right? Because in that sense, it's easy, easier for sure. So when we talk about all of those things that we have on your habit tracker in your folder of things that you should be doing on a daily basis, that's hard. I mean, I would think that I feel pretty confident about this, and act of love and seasoned. And what I'm doing now is going back to every single Thrive breastfeeding client that I've had and telling them I'm doing business coaching. Do I still kind of feel weird about that? Yeah. And there's this whole philosophy that you should offer an incentive. It's science that people like want to do something if there's a little bit of an incentive. And I can't do that with lactation. It's with my code of ethics, but with business I can. So if you refer me a business person, I give you a $200 kickback. Do you know that kind of feels weird to me? I didn't like that idea at all when a coach told me to do that. Like, that actually feels kind of cheesy, right? And
A referral
not,
bonus, no.
right, a referral bonus. You don't think it's
That's
bad?
like how business works. That's
Yeah, no, I would say like when
you're
I
into
never
it.
got clients from it, but when I was doing like working with some doulas and stuff, they were like, oh yeah, I'll put you on my website if you give me a referral bonus back.
Right. Yeah. And my understanding is, and I never did this for years, is for lactation consultants, it's out of our scope of practice to offer a kickback. So I don't do it at all, you know, if my breastfeeding business, but with the business, I can. And it feels weird to send out an email. I'm going to tell you, I'm telling on myself that if you refer, I give you $200. But then think of that mom who's in the same spot that like Abby's in right now, of seeing all those clients and how we're going to completely change our whole business model. Again, isn't that my responsibility? Isn't that email an act of love, even to just tell them, hey, I'm doing business coaching?
Yeah, because there's going to be some mom that's like, oh, I want to stay home. Like even I run a free lactation class, which apparently I don't anymore, ladies, according to Amy.
We slashed that. Yeah.
But
Well,
I remember one of the moms was like, I super love this. Like, how do you do this? Like, how did you get your foot in? Like, where was your training? Like all this kind of stuff.
right.
so-
You can be a lactation consultant.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's something I'm going to need to talk to you about too, Amy, because I have the same problem with the like free classes and things. And I was just listening to Get Rich Lucky Bitch, and I'm like, dang it. I knew something was telling me already I shouldn't be offering these. And now I'm like,
So
Well,
tell us,
hang on,
what do
you
you
guys
offer?
not get paying clients from your free class?
sometimes, but now it feels like an expectation. Like it was something I did originally just because I was new and it was like really popular and I was getting clients. And now like I sort of am, but it's more like, oh, the midwives and the doulas know, like, oh, Heather has the free class. I'll tell my clients about that. And then I do or don't get clients out of it. And I'm like, I love it. I don't mind it. I mean, I love teaching and I don't mind it, but I think it's probably not doing me a service at this point.
Okay. So real quick, here's some hot seat coaching. How frequently is this free class? What is the free class? Is it baby wearing?
It's a prenatal breastfeeding class, but wow, I think Bethany is yours 30 minutes. Is that right? Or somebody's was 30 minutes.
No,
Mine's
hers is-
90 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, 90.
Yeah.
And it's about once
30.
a month.
Oh,
Okay.
mine's every week.
Yours is every week. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So once a month, you're blocking off an hour and a half.
Yeah.
To give
Probably
away.
more because I got to like set up, make sure my props are together and like send out a follow-up email and all that kind of stuff.
And it's free, right?
Yeah.
Totally free. And how many prenatal moms are you converting
Probably
Would
one
you say?
or two.
per month?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if they were 2 Luxes,
Right.
we might say that that is a good business model. That's a lead magnet, right? If it's 1 or 2 one visits,
Right.
no.
Yeah.
So what would make people get more skin in the game? You charge for that. You can make it a low ticket, $99. That's
Yeah.
cheap. I have done virtual breastfeeding classes for $295. And then you can sell the recording, right? But for this, like $99. Or and this was news to me that I've recently learned this. The information that you give out in the class is not the how, it's the what. And I'm sure you're telling them everything that they need to know about breastfeeding. I'm sure
Yeah.
you're telling them how important it is to protect their supply by pumping if they're not with the baby or their dad's given a bottle. I'm sure you're telling them positioning and latch and all of that for free, right? Are you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. And if you're giving something away for that for free, it should be the what, which is still valuable, but not the how, not how to get there, not for free. Why would they?
What's an example of the what?
Did anybody happen to watch my how to create a resistible offer?
I haven't gotten to watch it yet.
I did.
Yeah, you did, Chelsea.
Well,
So
I was
did
there
it-
live.
Yeah. So did it really tell you how to create the resistible offer?
No, it was just little tips that led you to be like, well, I need to know more, like, and therefore selling your coaching.
Yep. And it worked actually. So an example would be how to create an irresistible offer. And all of you have that irresistible offer. I mean, for just sake of being uniformed, Bethany and Heather and Chelsea can call it their Lux, right? That's my VIP package. Abby has a Mother Mind, which is a signature VIP Lux-like package, right? So these offers are all irresistible for 3 reasons. You have the offer. It's very high value. You have the message that is saying the right thing, and we can go into this now. The message, and you're saying it to the right people. So to have an irresistible offer, you need a high value offer, which is not one lactation consultant where I come in and I do a weighted feed. No, it's a 3-month comprehensive package where I see you 4 times in your home, there every step of the way. I block out all the noise so you have one quarterback and not your girlfriend from work telling you what to do because what she did with her baby, which has nothing to do with your baby, right? That's the irresistible. And I'm messaging to the person who, and I wouldn't even go this deep if I was trying to tell this to a lactation consultant, because this is what we do inside the program, but the messaging is to the right person, which now we know on the inside is someone who doesn't necessarily want to go through insurance, or they value what's offered outside of what you're confined to with insurance. And then I'm saying it to the right audience, and I'm getting in front of that right audience, right? So what's the what and not the how? If you would like to create an irresistible offer, you need the actual offer, a high value offer. You need to have the right message talking to the right person, and you need to make sure you're in front of that right person, in front of the right audience. So 3 things good to know, but did I tell you how to get there? No, I didn't tell you what my offer is. I didn't tell anybody on the call it's 4 visits and it's 3 months and they get Voxer support. I didn't tell them that, you're supposed to, in a high value offer, do stuff that people don't expect. And my examples were, I took a pump back to the hospital for my last client last Monday. I dropped it off for the hospital. So what? I picked up a chair from Bye Bye Baby for another mom who was scared to death to drive on the Beltway because she was so anxious and her husband traveled all the time. Sure, I'm going to be in Maryland. I'll pick it up. I've got the SUV, brought it over to visit. I mean, do you think that's like high value? That's a Lux. Holy mackerel. This mom in the neighborhood was giving away a Moby wrap. So I took it over to a mom during the pandemic who was having a really, really, really hard time. And her baby was born in Maryland, because Virginia and Maryland, we have beef with each other. And so her house was here in Virginia, but she wanted to deliver where her OB was, where she grew up, and she wanted to deliver in that hospital. Well, the kid ends up in the NICU, and it's during COVID, and only one person can go. So she's driving from Virginia after C-section to Maryland to go and pump or have this baby like lick her nipple for like a second, really do nothing, and back and there. And she was so much physical pain. So I took the Moby over, and the little boy was asleep. So we put her dog in it. We put the dog in the Moby. And we were laughing. I'm like, and the dog was there, and the dog loved it. That's going above and beyond, right? And that scenario doesn't come up for every single client. Of course it doesn't. But that's what then you teach when they're paying you, not in the free class. And I did it too, Heather, for years. I used to do how to master a pain-free life. Do you know how many moms told me, I didn't even need you after, because you described it so well. You described how to latch that baby so well. I thought you were in my head the entire time I was latching in the hospital. Well, kind of shot myself in the foot. She didn't need me. I did. I recorded it and sent it out to him. They're pulling it up in the hospital. Honey, see what Amy says without paying me. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So, free class, sure, if you're locking in Lux clients, right? I went to a yoga studio recently and I tried to keep it to 30 minutes, how to master a pain-free latch. And I let them ask me quick questions, like, what pump should I get? What do you say? What do you think about this? And 2 clients came out that bought my Lux. No, Lindsay bought my Rapid Relief. Lux and a Rapid Relief. So that's $2,200 plus 15. That was $3,700 for 30 minutes on a Saturday morning. I think that free offering was worth it, right? But not once a month for 90 minutes unless you're consistently getting, I would say, at least the 1 Lux.
Have
And
you
is
guys
that
ever done virtual free classes?
Well, that's a webinar. You're
That's how
doing
mine
one.
is. It's virtual.
Oh, it is
Okay.
virtual.
Yeah.
Okay. Still your time.
My husband is of the opinion that free virtual may not convert to paying. Because if someone's looking for something for free and not having to literally go anywhere or do anything, they may not be a paying client at the end of the day. We're testing it. To be determined. I'll let you guys know.
I was gonna
Mhm.
say,
Yeah,
your
that's
husband's not like my husband who's mad about also going to the library. So he goes, free is free is free. No one's gonna pay you for anything.
No, that makes sense. And I've talked to a lot of other providers in town about, well, can you charge $20 for something like you would otherwise, offer for free? And then people are committed. They're not going to no show on you. It looks like your class is full. And then like 7 of the 15 people only show, or if you're lucky, show up. So that's something I've thought about too.
Same. Okay.
Yeah. I'm interested in hearing your outcomes.
And at least you make like a couple $100. I mean,
Right.
And everybody in this room needs to figure out their hourly rate. How much is your hour worth? So could you at least cover what your hourly rate is? And by all means, cap it at 60 minutes. I mean, that's like with question. I mean, in and out in 60 minutes. You could give so much information on breast meat in 60 minutes. Are you kidding me? And maybe really try to keep it a little bit more what and not how.
Yeah.
And don't think that it's a bait and switch, because the what is valuable. It is. But then they need you for the how to get there. Right? So mind switch on the act of selling is an act of love. You have all been tapped on the shoulder to take this out into the world. And I'm not going to know if you're going to help me through a perinatal crisis if you don't post, Abby, or email or reach back out to me that you have this amazing package. I don't, how am I possibly going to know? Or how's the chiropractor going to know to refer you if he doesn't know that you exist? Right? So anytime you feel, and I still feel weird sometimes, but that's when you catch yourself and in your brain and remember that it's an act of love. That you are doing something to get in front of that mom who needs you at probably the most vulnerable, emotional, overwhelming time in her life. And shame on us for not getting that out there, like from the mountaintops. Do you know how it would have been if I had me when I had a baby? Right? Like, I am crazy about my father-in-law. I can't believe I'm even talking about him where it's recorded. I love that man like a second father. But I can remember him telling me, like, babies can manipulate you. Like, they want you to pick them up because they're training you. They're so smart. And like that actually got him to my head. And I'm like, God, maybe he is messing with me. The baby, the chewy cold, right? Like maybe you do need to have them learn to like just wait a second. And I probably never had the ability to do that, but that messaging kind of got into my head, right? That maybe they are manipulating me. That is the stupidest thing that I've ever heard in my life. That baby is crying because he's trying to survive, right? He's trying to build trust. Like, pick the kid up and hold it. Not that he's trying to manipulate you. So, but I didn't have any support. I didn't have anybody like telling me that's not the way that you think about a newborn baby.
Yeah.
I'm not manipulating you, right? Or has anybody gone into this because they had a less than optimal scenario? Or maybe, yeah. Or there's something that you offer that you wish you had?
I will say with my second, the reason I booked you, Amy, was because I was getting so much contradictory information with my first during breastfeeding that during COVID that it actually drove me to like a mental health crisis, and I couldn't contact anybody to just tell me what to do, right? Because I had to like wait until I saw the pediatrician or wait until I saw the lactation consultant at the pediatrician's office. And so like every moment of being postpartum was like excruciating because I always thought that I was doing the wrong thing, you know, because I read, oh, don't let them, you know, like all of those nuances in breastfeeding. Don't let them use you as a pacifier. And then I was like freaking out that I did that. And then somebody said that you should let them do that. And it was like, what do I do? It was awful. Yeah. And if I had just had, like you said, like the texting support, that like, I think I would have not been so depressed.
And you hear Abby's pain point? We're all offering that in our packages. Everybody on here, if you decide it's the right thing to get, but we all are going to offer Voxer support in between consults or in between home visits. So you have, I happen to say 24/7 access, but you say what's comfortable to you. It doesn't mean I answer them 24/7, but however, you have access to me in between visits with Voxer. And what does that do for you? That addresses Abby's pain that she was overwhelmed with noise. So when you're selling your Lux, when you're selling your top tier package, the messaging there is not that you get a walkie-talkie app. No, it's you have one designated expert in your back pocket. You have one quarterback, because I'm going to tell you, Joni, one lactation at the hospital is going to say one thing, the other lactation consultant is going to say another thing, and they're not necessarily wrong, but some of this is philosophical. So wouldn't it be nice to just have one designated expert that you come to me for? Because I'm also going to tell you, your sister-in-law is going to tell you what happened with her, with her low milk supply. I'm going to give you science-based information that's backed by thousands of consults and 15 years of experience, which is very different. I mean, I don't even bring up my kids. I might tell you something about my kid, but I'm not going to tell you about my breastfeeding experience with my kid because that has nothing to do with your pet. I'm going to give you science-based information, right? So when you sell your Lux, remember Abby's pain point. You're going to get one designated expert with ongoing support throughout this entire journey in your back pocket. One quarterback.
And I think just because you guys are all lactation consultants and I can tell you all about my like nearly postpartum psychosis with my first around breastfeeding, I was getting wrong or contradictory information from other people I thought were experts, like my own doula.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, shoot, she froze on a good part. Hold on, Abby. Can you refresh, Ab?
Oh, Amy dropped off.
Oh, that's shocking. I actually thought it was Abby.
Yeah, me too.
I'm here.
Okay.
Oh, there you are.
Lula was telling you wrong stuff.
I was saying that I think it would have helped me if I had known that you're going to get information from people you think that are experts and it's wrong. Because like my own doula was telling me to like stop nursing the baby after like 15, 20 minutes. I was worried that I was making my baby lose calories from nursing because he like wasn't really getting it. So then I started to like really spiral that I was causing him to lose weight because I was keeping him on my breast for so long. My pediatrician also gave bad advice. So yeah, like when you're looking at these people that I hired, my doula, I trust this pediatrician to keep my baby alive, and they're saying like different things. It was awful. Like it was really awful. So yeah, I think like when you guys sell your packages, if you tell people like you're gonna get wrong information from people that you trust, people that call themselves baby experts, which I mean, I'm not like trying to throw my doula under the bus because she was really great at like my labor, but she wasn't an expert on breastfeeding.
I was gonna say I'll throw my doula under a bus and then back over her.
Yeah. So like I think sometimes they like think they know, like, right? Like I don't know, like they're not IBCLCs, right? Like their training was not really encompassing the nuances of breastfeeding. But I trusted them. Yeah, it was a lot. It was overwhelming.
Yeah, and weave that into your messaging when you're talking about your VIP. So Abby's signature program is going to allow clients to have support in between and da 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 da. And it's the same thing, right? Like maybe this isn't something that I don't know how your stance on this, Abby. I'd love for you to chime in, but like some of these things, it is better to talk to me instead of like always going to your spouse or your best friend or your cousin. Like I'm your designated expert. I don't know. Do you tell them not to tell their spouse, or did I just make that up?
No, but I think like a lot of times the clients that I see in therapy, we do a lot of work around like I felt disappointed by the medical professionals that I trusted. And you know, I'm not throwing like Western science under the bus here, obviously, but it's more like feeling like feeling like you're just like a cog in the system and somebody told you something, but they didn't really look at your whole like case.
Yeah.
And you took that piece of information literally, right? And like lived by it. And it caused you a lot of like grief over whatever you're trying to do with your baby. So like a lot of my therapy work is with people who felt like they were let down by the people that they hired, not necessarily like teaching consultants, but like OBs, you know, things like that, it wasn't what they thought. And that can be really bewildering, and that can take a couple of sessions to even feel like they can go back to their OB or have another baby, all of those things.
And bam, you said it. It's not one session. And I used to do one-offs all day long. One. If you need another consult, I'll come back. Just call me.
Yeah.
And how we're selling our packages is again a pain point that Abby identified that, you know, these things are never one and done, right? Yeah. It's ongoing comprehensive support. So I'm by your side throughout this journey. That's why I do 3-month packages. That's why my mother mind is 90 days or 3 months, however you're selling it. But, you know, I actually go as far to say, I don't even do one-offs.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
do.
you're not getting a lot. You're not going to get results with one-offs. Like I definitely have therapy clients who are like, I'm really stressed out and they want to see me once. And I'm like, I'm not going to solve all your problems by seeing me one time.
No.
But that's therapy. I don't know about, yeah.
Well, it's the same.
Yeah. It's a journey.
It's a journey. And it's positioning yourself that someone who's going to be there for a longer haul, hold your hand throughout, have access to you between sessions, right? One designated expert. So these pain points that we're bringing up, that needs to be in the way that you talk to your client. And we're going to do in each of your individual calls, and Chelsea and I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but your messaging.
Yeah.
Your messaging is, and I know this is touchy a little bit with like the insurance or not, but it's not, right? But you're not talking to the one who wants to pay $200 in network for maybe an hour with you or whatever. You're talking to the mom who values that comprehensive support, right? Mm-hmm. So your messaging needs to reflect that comprehensive, ongoing support with access in between, so you can feel calm and confident. And that's how you are describing your package. Not that I come to your home and I bring a scale and I weigh your baby. That's not what I'm buying. Anybody could do a weighted feed. The girl at my pediatrician office does that. No, I am by your side. And I'm sure I told everybody on this call, keep talking about it. I just came out of this messaging container that cost me $6,000. You guys know that, right? And I was like tossing and turning. Oh my God, that was a big investment. Was I worth it? Yeah, it was worth it, because my messaging before was, I can help you make 10 grand. I can help anybody with a business make 10 grand. I can do that. Am I really talking to my ideal client? Now I'm away from the lactation and onto the business coaching, right? Am I really talking to you? No. Now what I say is, I help moms with service-based businesses hit consistent 10K months while still showing up for our kids or still being in the carpool lane or still making lacrosse practice, right? That's very, very different than I can help you make 10K months. And that's how you need to dial in your messaging. And there's a whole exercise on this, but you got to name her. All my clients' names are Hannah. That's who I'm attracting. So my ideal client in my head, her name is Hannah. Okay. I have like 6 Hannahs. Hannah. And if you had to pick Hannah apart, who's my ideal client, who I'm talking to in my space, not for business. Now back to breastfeeding. Hannah, my breastfeeding client. They're double income families is mostly who Hannah is. They have the mom and the dad who are working and both professional jobs, right? I almost always see a Peloton. I'm talking about demographic and who's buying a Lux lactation, right? Which the Peloton's just not the Peloton, but they value health.
Yeah.
And when people have a Peloton and they value health, they know because they're educated and well-read that breastfeeding is better than formula. And that's not my opinion. I used formula with my own kid. I'm not doing that to shame you. It's a fact. It's science. Okay. So if they have the Peloton, they value health. So she's double income family. And trust me, I have stay-at-home mom clients, but I'm talking about really identifying your ideal client who buys a $2,000 package from you, right? She's double income. She values health. She has the podcast that she has the Peloton. She listens to podcasts on the benefits of breastfeeding.
Why are you describing me, Amy? And
Yes.
I've heard from you twice now. Like that's literally like who I am downstairs.
Right? Yes. Like if someone says like my little cousin, I could just strangle her. I love her so much, but she's like, I'm not really a podcast person. Olivia, what is wrong with you? You have a 40-minute commute each leg. What are you doing? I call my mom. Okay, that's a great thing for some of their eyes, but that is a prime time to learn something for conversations with your date, for your own brain, for whatever. But I'm not a podcast person. She's not my ideal client, even though I would do anything in the world for her. So who's your ideal client? Who's your Hannah? What's her name? Double income, Peloton, podcast, values health, a little bit of, well, this is what you're supposed to do when you have a newborn baby, right? It's clients with an expectation.
Mm-hmm.
It's clients who are hiring a doula. They're looking into night nurses. They have various staff. That's my ideal client. That's Hannah. And when you guys post and a copy on your website, and when you have conversations with people, you're always thinking of Hannah or who else. I just talked to a Catholic doula. We named hers Mary. She got a kick out of that. I'm like, let's name her Mary. Because she's talking to people who want to have birth with faith or in line with faith, right? So she's not talking to, my whole point is she has a very specific client. So all of you, the exercise will be, and we'll have, again, a whole thing on this, but who is your ideal client who wants to receive that act of love and wants that ongoing comprehensive support and not just the like, can you fix, like just check the latch? No, I'm not going to come. Well, it costs you $600 for one visit, which then usually they're not, well, it makes sense to do a 2-pack, right? Well, you come just check the latch. No, I'm not really a latch checker, right? But that's, I mean, I will check your latch. Of course I will, but that's not my ideal client of who I'm. And I'm saying this for mindset. I've certainly gone over and checked people's latch for a one visit. I'm trying to drive a point here for you guys, but yeah. So that's that. Selling is an act of love. You've been tapped on the shoulder to get your message out there for other moms who are struggling or alone or scared. And you've been given this gift. And it's actually like, I think like shame on me if I don't. I don't want to hoard those 11 other cookies. I want to transform other people's lives, either through helping them on their breastfeeding journey or showing them how to build a business where they're not like dead and burned out and short with their kids and anxious all the time. I can't tell you how many times when I was in corporate, I would always say to my kids, guys, I should be on the computer right now, but I'll help you real quick. But I should be on the computer. You know how many times I heard like I should be on the, then get on the computer, right? But it's that guilt that would keep coming up. So that's my taking away the ick. Where are we? What do we think? Is it enlightening in any way? Does it change the way that you think about selling?
I think it just is reaffirming like a lot of the other messages that I'm hearing that I'm trying to get to like sink into my brain.
About what?
About selling not being this. I mean, I think we just like we're taught like, oh, it's this evil like corporate thing and it's terrible and it's like and it's a gendered thing too, right? That like women aren't supposed to be doing it. And yeah. Just need a reframe around it though.
Yep.
I think it helped me with a reframe in terms of like similar to what we talk about. Like we want to make things accessible, and yes, mental health care and lactation should be accessible. But I am also looking for a client that wants to benefit from my knowledge. And if you're just trying to make an appointment with me to like fix all your problems in one visit, and like that's not, like you said, that's like checking the latch, that you're not really committed to this, right? You would be more committed if you were like, I'm going to prioritize breastfeeding and buy this package, or I'm going to prioritize my mental health and research a therapist and book with this therapist, because I know that it's not just like a one-off. And that's where I get drained too. And it's a waste of time for me when I have sessions that are kind of like the client's not really committed. And then I'm like, well, why are we here? Like,
Right.
That's really worth it.
Yeah. And to truly be like the Mother Teresa, who's paying that price?
Right. Me. And the boys.
The boys. That's what and we should think us. Of course we should think us, but my first thought is my kids.
Yeah.
Tired, I'm frazzled, I'm resentful. This freaking thing is supposed to give me freedom and I'm driving all over.
Mm-hmm.
Who pays the price when you try to be everything to everyone?
Right.
You and your family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So post content on your website, the way you talk to people, reaching out to your niche neighbors, none of it's ick. You're causing that ripple effect, which I'll say it again. I think it's our responsibility. It's like our job. You've been tapped on the shoulder for a reason, not to help like one or two people. It's make impact, right, guys? Like make tremendous impact.
Thank you, Amy.
We fired up. Yeah. So,
Yes.
Thank you.
I hope
Yeah,
it
and it's
was,
nice to see you guys in person.
Yeah.
I know we have such a great group. We have Christine who joined. She's a lactation consultant out of Boston. And then I just had somebody join who you'll see her in Slack who does coaching. It's called Fair Play Coaching. Have you guys heard of this?
Mhm. Yeah.
Where they come in and they look at all the tasks in the house, and mom's pink and dad's blue. That's horrible gender, but you know what I mean. And they see that it's all pink.
I didn't even know that they did that. I mean, that's a book that a lot of therapists recommend for couples.
Fair Play.
They now have like fair play coaching. Wow, you can make anything a business. That's cool.
You can, for real.
Yeah, that's what she does. And she goes in, and I mentioned it to a client. She's like, give me her number. I'm like, oh God, people really do want to.
Like, does she do virtual work?
I might want to call her.
Yeah, well, we're going to start coming up with packages. So we'll do a virtual packages, sure. But she gives you a very clear snapshot of, and you think duties in your house, you're thinking like cooking, putting away the dishes, taking out the trash. It's like, who's planning the birthday parties?
Mhm.
Who's making the medical appointments?
Everything.
Who's doing all of that? Helping with homework. And her niche is designed at women who want to get promotions and move up in their professional jobs, but the weight of home is holding them back. So her Hannah wants the corner office, more or less, and it's beneficial to anyone. But if you talk about what her direct marketing messaging is, it's for the woman who wants to like go for it, but she feels like she can't take the promotion because she's doing everything. So how do we give you the stuff?
That's like every client of mine. They're like, they're stressed because their husbands are not helping. So yeah.
And she does, there's a whole method to it. I think it's even like you get certified. You know how people get like Bradley certified, or I think you get like Fair Play certified, these proven
cool.
methods. Yeah.
Oh.
So she'll be joining our Slack too.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I got to get on a call, but
Okay.
I'll
All
see you
right.
soon.
Okay, Heather. We'll
Okay,
talk to you
bye.
soon. Looking
Thank
forward to
you.
your pickup club. Bye-bye. All right. Everyone good? Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's fine.
Bye-bye.
Bye.